All right, Donald Trump really doesn't have a whole lot of use for certain members of the media, and by that I might include MSNBC, specifically that Morning Joe program. So Joe Scarborough over the weekend went on TV and said, basically like his producers are afraid they're going to be arrested if Donald Trump were to win office. And so we saw a little bit of this in the earlier part of the program, but I want to come back to it for a moment just to talk about this issue, because I think it's being pushed over and over and over again by a lot of people over on MSNBC. You've heard Rachel Maddow say she's so worried she's going to be arrested. You've had another woman, Nicole Wallace, say she thinks she's going to get her show canceled. They've said this stuff over and over and over again on ABC's The View, but it came up over the weekend on Fox News because Joe Scarborough had mentioned this about his producers, and Howie Kurtz, who's their media reporter, wanted to set the record straight on this. Take a listen.
Let me ask you about Joe Scarborough, because on Bill Maher's show, he said his people, meaning your people, have said they're going to arrest my producers.
Oh, nobody said that. Look, Joe's a sick puppy. I know him well. I used him beautifully. I dropped him because I thought he was very unethical, actually. But I dropped him. But I used him for 2016, and I do it from my apartment. I wouldn't even have to go in. I'd do phone calls, and I did them almost sometimes on a daily basis.
Why do you say that?
And then everyone's because I watch him and what he says about me. What he says is so bad. And you have to understand, now I was friendly with him and with Mika, but at a certain point, and it doesn't matter why, but I didn't want to do it anymore with them. And they're not too happy about it. No, but he says a lot of things like that I think they're unethical, but who knows?
I want to drill down on this question.
Oh, well, I guess Joe's worried because he's looking at some of these poll numbers, and Donald Trump was, in fact, good friends with them. And, Donald Trump was like on the airwaves nonstop. Remember back in 2016? Over and over and over again. He'd call in from his apartment, and it was like every single day. And I think the method to their madness was, and I saw this from a lot of liberals back then, we want Donald Trump to win the Republican nomination, because he will be the easiest of all the candidates for Hillary Clinton to beat. So you got to game it out, right? That's what these people are doing. They're totally gaming it out. So they're looking at the field and saying, okay, who would be easiest for Hillary to beat? They got it so wrong, really, really wrong. And it is my belief here that they're getting it wrong again. And you don't have to take my word for it. You look at all the polls, which show you, yeah, they're getting it wrong. They just can't seem, damn, candidates are tough, right? Like man or woman, like it doesn't matter. It's hard to get this right because you need someone that's got the je ne sais quoi, I like to say. They got to have the personality. They got to have the warmth. They've got to have a sense of humor. They've got to actually like people. I think Donald Trump likes people. I mean, that's what you saw at McDonald's over the weekend. He likes people. He likes to actually, mix it up. And he's got substance in terms of the policy itself. I don't believe that Kamala Harris really likes people. I think Kamala Harris is extremely ambitious, and she likes Kamala Harris, granted, but she's not really a people person. And when you think back about who has really succeeded in politics, whether it be Reagan, whether it be Clinton, I know, but he was good with people. He's still good with people. I mean, maybe he's not doing any great things for his party because he's down there in Georgia saying, people would still be alive if it hadn't been for the policies that were put in place by this past administration. That would be Biden-Harris on the immigration front. So he comes across as real. He comes across as likable. Granted, he is who he is. But I'm just saying from an onlooker standpoint, what is it that you need? Biden had a lot going on. He just got too old, all right? He just got too old. So they knew they couldn't win with him. And I guess this was all they had.